Hey guys, um, this is a game I played against the PA group with some puppies last night, and we had been talking about reviewing your own gameplay and all that kind of stuff. So I just thought I would go through this game and just talk about this game. Um, and I'll just try to have basically the only thing I really want to talk about is my own play. I think, yeah, we end up winning this one, although it's fairly close, but kind of talk about it as we go through. First, so it's already 20 seconds in, so we can see Enemy team has 2 dive tanks, dive DPS, and an Ana, so they're going to be diving in more, whereas we're much less mobile. We've got Ryan and Zarya as our front line, with a Pharah and a Symmetra as DPS, and I'm playing the Ana, of course. So, chuck the nade in, try to get some free damage, don't get any. All I'm trying to do is keep myself out of line of sight, not get dived too easily. Really late nade. Here, so I was trying to go for a little more poke and just, gain some ult charge, basically. It's kind of a screw up, because I could have gotten punished pretty hard here. Which I immediately realized there's a McCree, Hammond, Ana, like I could have got slipped, I could have dived my Tracer. So I'm immediately trying to get out of there. I get lucky and they don't punish me for it. But now I'm watching the hotel, because I'm like, okay, these guys are going to come and they might come through and try to punish me. So I'm just hiding back here. Big thing for trying to do Ana is trying to avoid poke damage, especially because I'm playing with puppies, so I can't really trust Moira to keep me topped off. As you can see, because I've been down on health for a little while now. Moira hasn't noticed. There's Tracer. I'm not bothering to look at Tracer, I'm just trying to get myself with something in between me and Tracer. She recalls. Now I'm taking damage from 2 sides, so forget about positioning, I'm just running towards my team. Stand in front of the Moira and she has to heal me. And this is exactly why I was trying to keep in a line of sight, because now I'm getting hit by the beam. And there... How bad did I screw that up? Yeah, so I'm down to 50. She hit the grab and I wanted to make sure we won the fight. So I tried... I tried to get the Reinhardt right there. And instead I got the Moira. So it turned out fine, but I wasted that. And really I probably could have just waited on that a little more. It wasn't probably that close. They didn't have any barriers or anything to stop, like the Pharah from just putting rockets in. Probably wasn't necessary. Our Zarya is super tilty. Our Zarya is probably the best player on this team, but is also super tilty. So I'm seeing the orb come in, so I shift to the right, because same thing, I want to avoid getting any poke damages on. See, like if I had, 40%, so it's not like that nano was needed immediately, but if I had the nano right now, it would have been huge to be able to use it right now. So there's that poke damage again from another ball, which is really kind of the main thing that's been going after me, really, that's threatening me. And Tracer tossed her bomb right over here. I think I was assuming it was more in front of the telephone box, and so that I'd be safe. But instead I walk into it. I didn't really have much choice though, because otherwise I was going to get killed by the ball. What could I have done differently? Probably not a ton. Kind of misjudged where that Moira's ball was going. If I had shifted over to the right, closer to our Moira sooner, it might have been okay.
Okay. I've come back from worse.
So fight's pretty much over, so I'm not trying to rush in there. And actually, I shouldn't have done this. Because right now it's just me, and I know they're a Divey team. So they could have totally punished me for that. They don't, but like, they definitely could have. Our team got pretty good respawn though, so we're already ready to contest. At least just about.
I'm literally 96 another roll that she just got her ult, so there you go.
See, our Zarya's tilting again. Doesn't know what he's talking about because Zarya already used her ult once, but... So this is something that's really good for our team playing out right now, which is enemy team is still running a divey concept, but we've got them at the choke here, where there's not much space, which is exactly the kind of situation that Rein and Zarya are good at. And because it's only like a partial dive team, it's making it easy for so like some of them are pushing in and some of them aren't. And that gives us easy fights. Again, so I use my nano here. We kind of over-invested on this fight. I mean, like, the Pharah definitely shouldn't have. My nano was maybe a little questionable. But I wasn't entirely, because I was hiding over here, and I didn't really have line of sight on the fight. So I just wanted to make sure that whoever was caught in that, or whoever was standing on that point was going to die. And again, so I'm just trying to maintain distance, stay out of easy dive range. There's a McCree over there, so he makes a mistake. But it actually ends up working out. So I don't know what in the world was happening here. So I'm like, hey guys, come get it. They take a look at it, and then they walk away. And that splits our team. And then here comes the D.Va bomb. And now we're really split, and he's anti-healed. Zarya's dead. So even though the enemy team had a numbers disadvantage, because of our positioning goof, like if everyone had come over here to one side, or just left the McCree, either way we would have been okay. But instead we split ourselves. And it gets broken up into... So they dive me and I die, and that's fine. That fight was over, so probably the best thing that could have happened was just die quickly. If anything, I probably should have just been running straight at them to die a few seconds earlier, because there was nothing to gain from backing out there. So we're resetting, so they're going to push through most of streets. But, so the thing right now is, the enemy team's diving, but they're all kind of diving in different directions. That wasn't terrible by the Tracer. Like, the big advantage here is that Tracer's taking up both healers. Like, you're not really gonna get kills in that situation with just a 1-on-2, but both healers were occupied, and that's why the Rein died. So, like, essentially it resulted in deaths.
My ultimate is ready to be unleashed.
Okay, so we won that fight.
Nano boost is ready to deploy.
Yo, Nano me in this fight, okay?
So Zarya called for a nano,
Nano boost is ready.
and that's because Zarya just used her Grav. So basically what you want to do is nano the Zarya, build up a bunch of ult charge through that extra damage. She's got decent charge. That's why I'm checking here, is to see like, okay, Zarya called for nano. Zarya's low on ult charge. So we buy more ult. We buy a more valuable ult with
Yo,
our
Nano
nano.
me in this fight, okay? Can Nano me now?
So I'm kind of having to wade through traffic to get the nano off. But that's good because that means I gotta focus on healing up the Reinhardt.
I have no heal.
I'm not super thrilled about playing this far forward. Like you can see, I'm trying to get back to that left corner to get myself a little more cover. So I see on my indicator I'm getting hit from the back, but not for a lot. So Tracer's flanking me, but what I really need to concentrate on right now is not killing the Tracer, just not dying and healing the tanks. So I'm just shifting over, trying to break line of sight by using the stairs. Jumping around the payload. I don't know where that is. I just kind of have to hope that I don't get hit by it. So now Zarya has her ult ready.
Do not Nano me this fight.
Acknowledged.
The Nano was only up to the ult. It's already got-
So what Zarya is saying is now don't nano me for this fight, because she's got her ult. Same thing, I'm trying to stay back and play the corners. He dropped his mine, so I immediately dropped the nade, because that'll do enough damage to destroy mines, if I remember right. So just destroy the mine near me, and then just don't move. I'm getting dived. Did Zarya save me there? I'm not quite sure. I think it wore off. I think I was just fine. So same thing. The enemy team's kind of... They're diving and they're getting better position on us. But it's not really... Like at this point, there's not a lot of point to it.
I got you.
But there's only 15 seconds left, so what are you going to do?
Come here.
So same thing. He just didn't have enough health to get me down all the way in time. It did result in Ryan dying. So I'm at 11 health, and so I'm just hugging the corner here. Zarya was trying to bubble me so I could cross over, but what I saw and he didn't see is that they're coming from the right side, so instead I'm trying to hug over here. So we still don't have all our team left. There's not really much I can do for folks here. And you can see, yeah, so that was a pretty easy fight for them to clean up. If anything, I probably got lucky there that I didn't escape. Like if I had slept, like let's say I hit my sleep here, and then I ran off to the health pack. It's not like that would have helped in any way, and it just would have delayed my death. So I basically got lucky here that what I was trying to do, and I was trying to survive, and luckily I didn't. So again, check our team. Got Nurse Shatter, that's our big ult. And we've got a High Noon, which doesn't have a whole lot of value usually. And Zarya's 50% to our next ult. Ryan's already engaged, or he's getting dove. And he drops his shield to take a swing. So he probably shouldn't have died there. Get off sleep. But that was kind of the same thing, where some of the teams diving, some of the enemy teams not. Same deal here. Like our team's kind of, we can be dove, but it's never quite at the same time. So there's Tracer. So I can feel him getting hit, but it's kind of like at this point, well, I mean, for one thing, I know the rest of the enemy team's out there. I'm right by my Moira. So I'm feeling pretty safe, so there's not really any reason for me to turn around and, you know, really worry about it. Just focus on healing. He uses his big Earth Shatter to win the fight. Don't want to use any more ults than that.
Let's work together.
Nano boost is ready to deploy.
So that's kind of what's good about Zarya and Orisa. That's the nice, or Zarya and Reinhardt. I mean, sorry. That's the nice thing. So we win that fight off of one ult. In that time, Zarya gets another ult, and I get my Nano, which I can use on one of the tanks to build up another ult. So ideally, you're just going to keep cycling. You're going to win off of one or two ults every fight. So again, we're kind of splitting ourselves up here, but they don't really notice. And there's the grab. So here's a screw up. Completely wasted Nano. I think the reason I did it, so I'm watching the dive come in. So that's where my eyes are. And I can't see, so I don't notice the kill feed up here. And now I'm watching Reinhardt and trying to protect him. So I'm still not noticing what's actually going on there. So I didn't think they used an ult. So I didn't notice what was going on in the fight. And that's a pretty... Yeah, my bad. Because we got 20 seconds left, so that's one fight. And we just used all our big ults. So that could be a pretty big screw up. Because we want to win that fight on a Nano. Or at least, you know... At least we want to avoid it. See, like, if we had a Nano right now, that'd probably be the end of the game. So now I'm kind of line-of-sighted from my team, trying to get over without anyone noticing me. And then I miss a bunch of shots. So it works out anyway. You can kind of see the same thing happening again here with their team comp. So they push in to punish us. There, I didn't even notice that before. There goes Reinhardt far behind the enemy team. And our McCree tees off on them. Yeah, I mean, so we end up winning. We used all our ults. We ended up winning. But that was a pretty big mistake by me. If I had, like, right, so like it's not mechanics, it was just if I had a touch more awareness at 20 seconds to the end of the game. Like McCree and Zarya kind of ended up making hero plays to bail me out. But, like, let's say they didn't. then who's to blame for the loss? Like, you could blame me for the loss. So that was a pretty close game.